everyone, it's Kayla from The Casual Crafter, and today we're going to be doing some St. Patrick's Day DIYs using mostly Dollar Tree items as well as a few items I had on hand already. I've never personally actually decorated for St. Patrick's Day before, so this is a first for me. I was really excited to do this and try out a few items this year, but I wanted to stick with my more muted and neutral tones, so that's what you'll see with these DIYs. And I got my green on so you can't pinch me, so let's go ahead and get right into the video. Starting out with this really simple DIY. So here I'm just taking this wood cutout that I got at Dollar Tree. They had them in their St. Patrick's Day section. And I'm going to be filling in the holes just with this lightweight spackling that you can get at Dollar Tree as well. And since I'm painting over them, it's not a big deal. Now I'm just starting out with this Waverly chalk paint in the color Moth. And I'm just going to paint around like the edges of the whole thing. I don't really care too much if I get it on the middle parts because I'm going to paint over those with a different color as well. So now I'm taking this Waverly chalk paint in the color Celery. It's a lighter green tone. And I'm just going to color what look like hearts on the shamrock. And I think this looks really nice. It's really simple. You could always paint the back if you want. I think this looks really nice styled on a shelf, and the more muted tones really go with my decor. Now I'm just taking the sign I used in a previous video that I made. I can link that up in the eye and down below. And I'm just going to be using these stencils from Waverly. You can get any stencils you want. But I'm just going to be spelling out the word luck. And I'm just going to go in with this makeup sponge and some black acrylic paint. And I'm just going to be sponge painting that on. I found this super satisfying to do. It was a lot of fun. Now since I just flipped this and put it on the back of the XOXO sign, in the future when I want to change out the words, I'll just have to slide out that piece of foam core that's in the middle. And here comes the satisfying part, taking that off and seeing what you're left with. Obviously there's a couple mistakes, and I could always touch those up if I want. Yeah, and I think this looks really nice. It adds some height to my decor. Now I'm just taking this little shadow box decor item that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to be sanding the sides because I don't really care for the hearts that are on the sides. I chose this one in particular mostly because of the size of it, as well as the fact that it's got more of a wood texture. And I don't really care about the back of this sign, but I wanted to take the heart off and at least sand it down a bit. You could always paint over it. Now I'm just going to be taking some Waverly white chalk paint, and I'm going to actually cover the whole thing with this. I was just going to start by covering the middle, but I decided to go over the whole thing. And I ended up giving it 2 coats of that. You really want to make sure you get into all the corners and the crevices within the inside as well, just to make sure it's all covered nice. And once I've given that 2 coats, I'm just going to tape off the inside so that I can make the frame a different color. Once that's all taped off, I'm going to be going with this Waverly wax in antique color. and I'm going to be going over the edges. I really wanted to give this a faux stained wood look, so I'm just going to go over all the white frame bits. I'm going to end up giving that like 2 or 3 coats of the wax because I really wanted it to match the wood that I already had in my living room. So I started out just doing it with the rag, but the color payoff was pretty poor, so I just ended up going in with a brush, and it really helped get the inner parts because that was really hard to do with the rag. Obviously going in with a thicker coat like this is going to take longer to dry, so just make sure you let it dry before you try and move it. And once that's done, I'm going to be taking off the painter's tape I had, and there are a little couple areas that I need to touch up, so I'm going to go back in with that Waverly White chalk paint and a pretty tiny brush just to touch those up to give me some clean lines. Once that's all done, I'm just going to measure really quickly to find approximately the center of the frame so I can do my design. So I'm going to start out by taking this maroon, dark maroon color and adding some white to it, as well as this Waverly chalk paint in Maze, and then Waverly chalk paint in Moss, and then a navy acrylic paint with some white added to it as well. I really was going for the muted tones here, and you'll see here I'm going to start making one side of my rainbow. Obviously I didn't do all the colors of the rainbow, I just chose 4. But I kind of wanted to do it in the style of some of those like boho macrame rainbows. So once I get that first one done, I'm just going to go in with the yellow next, which is the Maze color. And I'm just using what's on the lid because it takes a very small amount of paint to do this. And don't worry too much if you make a mistake. I do go back in later and just touch up the lines. And here I'm using the Moss color. You can see I really liked the more like elongated type rainbow look. And working upside down worked a lot better for me when doing this. I don't know, I was able to concentrate better on the lines I was making. So if that works for you, go ahead and do it. And then I took that navy color mixed with the lighter blue. And like I said, once that's all done, I did go back in and fix up some of the lines with some Waverly White chalk paint. And I think this looks so adorable and really goes with the St. Patrick's Day theme, but is a bit more muted, and I can deal with it with my decor. Now I'm going to be taking one of these little black pots that you can get at Dollar Tree. They might have a similar one from Halloween time. You can use those as well if you have any of those left over. But I'm just going to be taking some yellow acrylic paint and some white acrylic paint. I decided this color was a bit too bright, so I went back in with the Maze Waverly chalk paint. Obviously, if you have yellow tissue paper you like already, you could use that for this. It'd be a lot simpler. But I just was trying to make this look like a little pot of gold. And I think this adds a lot to the decor. I think it looks really cute and stands out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure and like and comment down below what your favorite item I made today was. Also be sure and let me know if you're going to decorate for St. Patrick's Day this year. And if you're not already subscribed, please do. I really appreciate it. And be sure and check me out over on Instagram. It's at The Casual Crafter. And thanks again. Bye!